Oh boy, this was a fun one. We got some graphics improvements, and then we got some cool gameplay improvements, and I especially enjoy that these latest episodes of Inside Star Citizen have no intro. They just get right into it. I'll take that strategy and I'll run with it, so thank you for coming to my Tomato Talk. And a big shout out to my two newest patrons, Malcolm Scott and King Crumbs. Gas cloud tech, a term that's about as old as Mass Effect Andromeda. Seriously, we've been hearing about this evasive nugget of space porn for about 3 years now, and have seen several updates on how the tech works, the challenges, the pitfalls, the R&D, and we've even seen it working in a vertical slice of the single-player campaign. But this week's update brought us some new info and some decent speculation fuel. Now, what you're currently seeing on screen is footage from late 2018, and the work they had completed on the tech back then. Here is what we're seeing now. The main front-facing difference is the format of the gas clouds, and the way the light interacts with them. A big issue the devs were running into was how to make these areas look good from both far away and right inside the clouds. They really struggled with this for quite some time, as sometimes you would quantum towards a cloud and it would look great and dynamic, but then you would fly through it and suddenly it was just a fog that enveloped your whole view. The system they've come up with to solve this problem is a system of parent and child cloud systems. One being mammoth-sized, equivalent to most gas giants, and the other being enough to hang in orbit around a moon. Fair chance these will replace the asteroid clusters around the moons we know of right now. The way these clouds also adapt to the color and light of a system is really interesting as well. I suggest watching the full video to get more details. A lot of this is made using VDB files, which were developed by DreamWorks for movies such as Puss in Boots and How to Train Your Dragon, a favorite of your resident tomato. CIG is also using Houdini and Fume effects, which are cinema standard tools for these type of effects. Now this is the part of the video where somebody scrolls down into the comments and screams, "Ah, another week of graphics, graphics no gameplay, CIG, ya hooligans." Okay, but think about how this might be used for gameplay. These new areas allow for new concentrations of POIs, things like derelicts, resource dumps, and the eventual inclusion of gas refining. Now, I admit, refining is a long way off, but at least this is another step on that path. Combine this with the possibility of scanning improvements on the horizon that I've mentioned in another video, and the dynamic disruptions that these systems cause that we've seen in R&D, and these areas really could make for some fun gameplay between groups, friends, and solo. The second half of the show was all about force reactions, and I'm actually impressed at how far along these have come and that they'll be in 3.11. Wait a second. This isn't on the roadmap, but CIG doesn't work on things not on the roadmap. Yeah, let's just agree to not depend on the roadmap for all of our expectations. The footage you're looking at has clearly been in the works for a while, but they haven't had it on the roadmap. There are plenty of things like this, but they're on the monthly reports. Trust the monthly reports. Stop raging at the roadmaps. I say this every month. Sorry about that rant, but let's move on. The force reactions are another thing we've seen long ago. This footage on screen is from 2017, in which the first version of hit reactions were being tested on pilots. Today, we are seeing that same technology having been improved and also added to other characters on a ship. This is going to change flight and multi-crew gameplay a ton. Players won't be able to just always run around willy-nilly anymore, and this is most likely going to tie into the room system and the possibility of explosive depressurization, which we know is coming as well. On top of this, we got to see dynamically adjusted force reactions from weapons and grenades. I'm very happy with where this is headed at this stage. I think it's very cool that your reaction to being shot by a powerful weapon at long range will differ greatly from that same weapon hitting you at close range. That is, if you're invincible. And this doesn't just count for those strong weapons, this scales to pistols, submachine guns, assault rifles, even rocket launchers. Everything has its own dynamically changing force reaction, depending on how far away you're shot from, where you're shot from, what armor you're wearing when you're shot. It all adds a lot of variety to the feel that you're going to get when playing the game, depending on who you're going up against and what you're equipped with while doing so. One more step in adding variety to the game, and one more layer of complexity that increases the amount of different experiences you will have while playing. And that's what it's all about, right? All in all, force reactions have also made great progress. I'm excited that it's coming so soon, and I think it's going to add some interesting gameplay opportunities to things like theaters of war, different combat missions in the persistent universe, and even just flying around with your friends. It might not be the most exciting gameplay, but it definitely adds to the group of systems that we need to enjoy the game to its fullest, so I'm happy to see it. And keep in mind, while yes, many people are going to have something to say about this, this is still pretty early into these types of features development. We are going to see more additions to this kind of gameplay. This is a solid format for Inside Star Citizen. It has the blurbs that pop up to inform viewers. It doesn't have time wasted on segment introductions. It gets right to business and has plenty of B-roll involved. I hope they stick to this format and continue to show us near-term and medium-term developments regularly. What did you think of this week's improvements? Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoy this series I've just started, give the video a like and consider subscribing so I know to keep it up. And don't forget to come chat with me one-on-one, either on Twitch, where I stream with viewers Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, or on Discord, where dozens of video game enthusiasts are constantly joining to take part in our community events, discussions, virtual photographies, and giveaways. One of which is ending in a couple days at the end of August. Check that out in the video description. Thanks again for watching, and I hope to see you next time.